Hi there, Sandra here from the Schwowin's Nest. Thanks for joining me today. I am so honored to be part of today's collab with Heidi Sonboul DIY. Heidi is an amazing person and she is doing her very best to help smaller channels grow. And this collab is exactly that. She's showcasing my channel, so I want to showcase hers as well. If you haven't been to Heidi Sonboul DIY, you need to go check it out. I will have her link down in the description box, as well as her Heidi Sonboul home channel, which you can go see her decorate and use her DIYs in her home. The theme for our collab today is Christmas in July. So I am so excited to be participating in a Christmas video. I have not done anything for Christmas since last year. I picked up this bucket. I've had a couple of these buckets for a while. I tend to pick things up and then have them hanging around in my house until I'm ready to use them. The bucket itself was $4 at Dollarama, and now I'm just using Dollar Tree's handy little scraper to remove the sticky label from the bottom. I'm using Rust-Oleum chalked paint in the color Cocoa Bean to give this bucket more of a wood look. So I'm starting out with a base coat of this brown color, and I'm going to do the bottom and all of the sides and part way down the inside, because you will be able to see a little bit of the inside depending on what you're putting in the bucket. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to use the bucket for. My original thought was to put a small artificial Christmas tree inside of it and use this as the base so you wouldn't see the stem of the tree. But if you have any ideas of what else I could use this bucket for, let me know in the comments. I'm usually not a brown color person, but I really love this Cocoa Bean from Rust-Oleum, and look at the coverage with just one coat. I'm now going to use another color of paint, and this is sort of a taupey gray color. I'm going to do some dry brushing in a horizontal way just to give this more texture, a little bit of distressing, and make it look like a bucket that is made out of wood. The color that I'm using to dry brush is called Mushroom, and it's a latex wall paint that I used for some of the walls in my home, and I had tons of it left over. So I decided to just add some baby powder into a jar. I mixed 2/3 paint with 1/3 of the baby powder and shook the bejeebies out of it, and I got myself a DIY chalk paint. It works really, really well. I'm going to add a couple of more colors. I'm using a medium gray tone to dry brush, and then I'm also going to use some black just to give this more dimension and more texture. Adding the black really was the finishing touch. The bucket has two bands, one towards the top and one towards the bottom. I decided to take a small paintbrush and my black chalk paint and just draw a freehand line all the way around to make it look like these were metal bands holding the bucket together. When you're done watching my video, I would love for you to go over and see what Heidi created for our collab today. I'll have that video link in my description box. I lost some footage when I was putting these stencils on. I'm using a Farmhouse font and the mushroom color chalk paint, and I put it in a circular manner so it would look more high end. Now what I'm going to do is use some of my mini stencils and put the word Christmas trees down on top of the black band. I'm using my makeup sponge to very carefully sponge on these letters. They're very tiny, and the makeup sponge is a little bit bigger. After I was complete, I thought I probably could have cut down the makeup sponge and made it just a little bit smaller so it would be easier to work with, but I will remember that for next time. Since the bucket says Farm Fresh Christmas Trees, I decided to use a tiny little paintbrush and just dab it in some paint and then pounce it onto the bucket in the shape of a Christmas tree. I'm going to try and make a pine tree, a fir tree, and a spruce tree. They have a little bit different branches, and so I'm going to do my best to make them look realistic. It might not work out, but I'm going to give it a try. I wanted to add a few more details to make this look more high end, and that's something that you would find at a store. So I found this stencil, and down at the bottom it has like little lines all the way across, and then sort of like a little fleur-de-lis almost pattern kind of thing. Anyway, so I'm going to stencil that on the bottom, and I'm also going to repeat that on the top. I was really loving the way this was looking, and it would have been fine the way it is, but I wanted to add one final detail. I have a white permanent marker, and I'm just drawing some lines on the outsides of the letters just to give them more dimension and make it look like a real professional stencil rather than a whole bunch of letters put together. I really love how this bucket turned out. My second DIY for you today is using these pieces of tongue and groove wood wall paneling in Knotty Pine. What tongue and groove means is that one section fits inside the other section, so they mesh together really nicely and they just fit together. They're not butted up against each other, but they fit one inside the other. The other thing that I did was cut these pieces to length. I'll have all of my measurements down in the description box, but basically what I did was start with an 18-inch piece, and then I made each piece 3 inches shorter. So 18, 15, 12, etc. All the way till I had a 3-inch piece. Now I'm going to be gluing these together using my Weldbond Glue, which is a permanent glue, and I'm going to put quite a bit, just using my finger, inside the groove and also on the tongue part of these pieces. And then I'll set that aside to dry. I also used my miter saw to create these angles. The angles are 3 inches in each piece, and I just continued to do that so they all look exactly the same, but they just gradually get smaller and smaller. As you can see by this part of the video, I'm creating a cute little wood Christmas tree. I wanted to use lightweight wood so I'd be able to hang it on a wall or a door very easily. I also cut a 3-inch square piece that I'm going to use as the trunk of the tree. I also decided to use my staple gun to give the pieces extra stability, especially up at the top where there wasn't a whole lot of the tongue and groove happening. There was very small pieces because of the way the points were cut. So the staple gun is really going to make a difference in how sturdy this tree will be. Using a dollar store paintbrush and my DIY chalk paint in white, I'm going to just give this a couple of good coats because I want some of the wood to show through, but not all of it. Some of these knots are going to show up, which is going to give some character to the tree, but I did want it to be fairly white. I chose to use this bare dark antique wax to put a couple of coats onto the tree trunk. I'm just using a paper towel and then rubbing it in, until I get the desired look. Once the wax had some time to dry, I took my DIY chalk paint in black and a dry brush and just gave it a little bit more texture and dimension. I love distressing with black. It just makes everything look really wonderful. And the black against this brown is my favorite. The two coats of white have dried on the tree, and now I'm going to do the same thing with the black. I'll distress the tree, accentuating some of the edges and the grooves, and just give it a really pretty distressed look. No project of mine would be complete without some type of words on it. I've decided to write "Have a Holly Jolly Christmas." I'm starting in the middle of the tree on the third section from the top, and I'm using just some alphabet stencils that I picked up at the dollar store, and I'm going to use my pencil to trace on the letters. I don't want to get the stenciling done with my makeup sponge this time because I want a really nice dark finish on this. So I'll be outlining in pencil and then coloring things in with my CraftSmart oil-based paint pens. To make sure my word is centered properly, I'm going to be starting at the end of the word. So have a is the two words that are going to be on this panel of the tree. I started with the A and now I'm working my way backwards with the E, the V, the A, and the H. Working from back to front will make sure that I have all my letters and words lined up properly and make sure that I have enough space for all of them. If I start in the center, I might not have enough space for some of the words. If you've watched any of my other videos where I make signs, you'll know that I like to mix up the font styles. So what I'm going to do here is use a little lowercase cursive for the top piece. And here I'm using a farmhouse style font in capital letters. And then the bottom word, which will be Christmas, I'm going to freehand in somewhat of a script style. For the word Christmas, I am going to use a pencil outline first and then just go over it with my paint pen, just to make sure that I don't mess up how spaced out they are, and then I can make adjustments if I need to. Here's how my sign looks so far. The only thing I'm going to do with the letters is add some embellishments, just some lines on either side of them, just to give them a little bit more definition. I thought the sign looked cute just as it is, but I wanted to add some decorations. So I have some jute twine, and I'm lucky enough at my cottage to have tons of cedar and pine and different types of Christmas trees in our yard. So I went outside and I plucked some little tiny branches, and I'm going to glue them onto the jute twine and make a little bit of a garland. I also have these little tiny hemlock cones that fall, and so I did a lot of scavenging outside and picked these things up off the ground to use on my tree. I'm adding the jute twine to the tree with hot glue, and I'm going to put them all in a diagonal area. Just makes it look a little bit more high end. I'm also going to hot glue the ends of the jute twine on the back of the tree just to make sure that everything stays in place. I just put 3 rows of twine because I didn't want anything to cover up the letters. So On the edges of the tree, I'm going to be adding some more of the little pine cones and the greenery just to give it a little extra flair. I also decided to add a little bit of jute twine around the top part of the tree. I'm not putting a topper on it, so I thought this might be a cute little addition. I'm going to wrap it around in a couple of different ways and hot glue it onto the back. Then I'm going to add some little hemlock cones onto it just to finish it off. For the final finishing touch, I'm going to also wrap some jute twine around the base of the tree, just in a couple of different diagonal shapes, and then I'll just glue everything together. With some thicker jute rope, I added a hanger to the back of the tree so you wouldn't be able to see it once it was hung on the wall. I used my staple gun and then finished it off with a little bit of hot glue just to make sure it stays in place. I'd like to give a great big thank you to Heidi Sonboul for including me in her Summer Spotlight DIYs. Thanks so much, Heidi. I really appreciate it. If you like this kind of content, I would love for you to hit that red subscribe button and the blue bell to get notified when I upload new videos. See you in the next one.